This seems to be the theme of tonight. I think that actually is the motto of all these decks is, deck wasn't good. It was fun. You could win.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
It's another beautiful day at the Timewaster 9000 headquarters podcast, Beach Boys tribute show. Round, round, get around, I get around.
That's not a bit I can follow you on.
You got to do the next part.
I'm not tapped in with the Beach Boys. I'm just not tapped in. I'm
getting a thumbs down from the producer, Jacqueline.
A lot of music I could have followed you on, and Beach Boys ain't one of them.
Folks, welcome to the Timewaster 9000 podcast. We're here to talk about some Magic the Gathering cards. I'm your friend, Alex, and this is my friend,
Bald. What's up, y'all? My name's Miller. It's nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, this is my friend, Bald.
Hi.
My friend Miller unfortunately betrayed the contract we had for the hair match that we were going to film, and he got the high bald fade with the 2 on the top.
The 2 all around, really.
Yep,
no, I just got so sick of what I had. I was like, this. I was thinking about getting a real haircut, like going somewhere, and I was like, I'm gonna have to pay for that, and I don't even know what I would tell them to fix this. I just couldn't even come up with an idea of a haircut.
You should have done what you did with the last guy and just say go nuts.
Yeah, that is true. The last haircut, I went into a barbershop. I walked up to the guy and I just said burst fade, and I did not expand upon that
Burst fade
whatsoever.
Yeah,
I was like, we'll see what happens.
going to the barbershop and asking for the haircut.
Yeah, and then he hooked me up with a mullet designed for a 14-year-old Puerto Rican going to the carnival.
Yeah.
I was like, that works.
Yeah, and believe it or not, folks, that's pretty much exactly what Miller is.
Yes, it's true.
27-year-old Puerto Rican going to the carnival. Folks, today on the Timewaster 9000 podcast,
what are we doing?
We are going to be talking about something near and dear to our hearts, as many things in this beautiful game are, but near and dear in our hearts in a way that's almost a little embarrassing to admit.
I think embarrassing is a good word.
Folks, today we're talking about decks that we believed in, that we truly had our best intentions and our heart set right in the good place, and we were determined to take these decks to the forefront with new and improved technology.
This is how we'll get on the podium.
This is how we thought we were going to make ourselves known. But man, did these decks just not do it even a little bit?
They fucking suck.
These are some decks that we played that were not very good. But as usual, before we get into the meat and potatoes, Miller, I got a bit for you.
Yeah,
before we get into the bit today, I'd like to give a quick shout out to everyone on the Patreon, patreon.com/Timewaster9000, for donating to keep the show going and making it possible for us to improve. We appreciate anybody that's made a donation either through the Patreon or the Ko-Fi. If you would like to donate to us to get some Discord benefits or to help the show out to continue to make new and cool different kinds of content, we'll have a link in the description below. And now that I've gotten the dumb little ad out of the way, Miller,
it's not dumb.
It's not dumb. Everybody who's given money so far, you have no idea how helpful you've been.
Thank you to all the $40 grandmas out there. We love you forever and always.
God bless you. Today's bit I have prepared for you is called All That Glitters, which you might know as an aura because you're
it's got aura, right?
You're a little aura piggy.
I got to play it exactly once before it got banned.
It's a good
and
card.
I won. I went 4-0. I said, man, this card's good.
Shit beats ass.
Yeah.
All That Glitters is a bit that I've prepared for us today where I'm going to talk to you about something that I have been interacting with recently. Miller, in building my cube, I've constructed it with mostly cards that I own or cards that I really care about. And because of that, something that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to foil it out. I love the idea of blinging out the cube. It's a cool little project I can sink a couple dollars into. A little foil Path to Exile here, a little foil Old Border Firebolt there. You know what I'm saying?
We go a little nuts for some grills. We got.
That's right. I got Johnny Dang on the phone. I told him ice out my tenacious underdog.
What the fuck does the Nelly line is some shit like he says something along the lines of top row rose gold, bottom diamonds. And I'm like, Nelly, that's cool and awesome and all. I don't think you understand how stupid that sounds.
So basically, I want my mouth to look like shit, and I want it to be $1 million.
Yeah. I was just like, there's got to be a better way. How about we just make it match? Let's start there, right?
Pick one. And something that I've noticed as I've been going through and blinging out the cube, some of these cards have some ridiculous foil multipliers. Folks, for those at home who don't know what a foil multiplier is, let's say I got a card. I'll just do Battle Screech, for example. Battle Screech from Judgment. 20 cents.
Cool ass card.
Foil Battle Screech. This is an Old Border foil. Like $20. So the foil multiplier is some insane, hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah.
So I'm going to list some cards off for you.
Okay.
That are cards that we know and love.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if you can guess, given their normal price, what their foil price is.
I see.
So we're going to start it off. 7th edition Unsummon. So 7th edition.
I'm aware of 7th edition.
7th edition is an Old Border set. It was one of the first Old Border core sets. I think the first Old Border core set to feature foiling. And so a lot of these cards are white border in their normal print and black border in their foil print because it was the first time they'd ever been printed like that in foil.
Yeah.
It's a really cool foil treatment, and a lot of these cards are really expensive when they're foil. So Miller, Unsummon, Classic, return target creature to its owner's hand for just a blue. What do you think a foil of this runs you when a regular one costs 13 cents?
So the regular non-foil is 13 cents.
So how much is the foil?
For 7th edition, it's gotta be big. I'm gonna go nuts. I'm gonna go. Oh, maybe that's not nuts enough. I was like $11, but then I was like,
that's still. I mean, if you could think about 13
It's a ridiculous multiplier.
Yeah.
But I'm also in my head. I'm thinking of like I recently saw like a Birds of Paradise.
The Birds of Paradise is
that one is bananas.
Yeah.
That one actually goes to like it's like $1,700 or some shit. We'll start off a little conservative here. I'll go with $11.
All right, 25 buckaroos for a foil Unsummon.
I feel not too bad about my guess.
Yeah, it's funny that I heard 11 and I forgot what I put on this slide. I'm like, I think that's close. And roughly half, but foil Unsummon from 7th edition runs you about $25 on most online retailers. Next up, card.
I really like 7th edition Unsummon. The dragon on it.
Oh, he's like, getting fucked up. Yeah.
Help.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, they spent 6 mana on me. Don't make me do it again. Next up, card that me and you know and love. Very deep to our hearts. Blood Moon.
Ooh.
From 8th edition. Now, I've got regular 8th edition Blood Moons usually when I'm rocking up to a tournament. White border. Looks funny and it pisses off my opponents. I used to like it for Cascade because I could...
Really easy to find.
It was really easy to find. Yes, you'd flip past them and they'd be like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, you go, wait, there it is.
Oh, yeah, check it out. Yeah. I brought this in for you.
I got something for you.
Yeah. So a regular 8th edition Blood Moon runs you about $6.
Okay.
How much you think a foil runs you? I think this is the first foil printing of Blood Moon, if I'm not mistaken.
Golly. All right, it's going to be more. It's got to be more than Unsummon.
Good guess.
You know what? So what was the Unsummon, like $25?
It's $25 on a 13-cent card.
I'm going to just double it. Let's go to 50.
All right. $30.
All right.
So definitely it was more. Not much more.
It's actually that's damn near the same. That's just like the 7th edition foiling is just going ballistic.
So here's my thing. I think that the Unsummon is that high of a multiplier because it's like first core set with foils type of shit.
Yeah.
And it's kind of low key a cube card. And if you're gonna foil some Old Border shit out like that, You probably put it in a cube. Not to say that Unsummon is a good cube card. It's just like a card that people will. You will put that in your cube. It's like a cool old style effect that people put in like retro or like lower powered cube environments, that kind of thing. It's iconic. It's a super iconic card. Blood Moon, not as easy to fit into a cube. And if you're running it in competitive, probably don't want foils.
Yeah, but people like to just
foil out their whole bitch. Well, then they would just get like
swag out with them.
If they were going to swag out, they would get the Invocation Blood Moon, the like $300 Blood Moon. You know what I'm saying? Or like the borderless double master.
You know what though? Maybe they're a real old head. Maybe they were thinking that's not a real Magic card. All the way back on the Invocation.
Then they would probably just get like the dark Blood Moons. You know what I mean?
But those don't have foils.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to clash with my foil Liliana of the Veils. My deck costs $7,000 and I can't win a game. All right, next up, Grim Monolith.
This is going to be like $1 billion.
So Urza's Legacy first set ever with foils. Grim Monolith is on the reserve list.
Yeah, it is.
2 mana rare. Grim Monolith does not untap during untap phase. Tap, add 3 colorless mana. Play this only as a mana source. 4 mana, untap it. Part prison, part home. I was looking around. You can get a Grim Monolith non-foil for $350.
Whew.
So what do you think a foil runs you?
And I know there's just not that many.
Yeah, it's tough to find Urza's Legacy foils.
I'm a go big. It's got to be big bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go $1,200.
Pretty much damn near almost on the money. It's like, oh, never mind.
It's literally double what I said.
Yeah, again.
It's $2,500.
$2,500 for a foil. It's been a while since I made this slideshow.
Shit.
$2,500 for a foil Grim Monolith on your local online retailer.
That's a nasty little piece right there.
Yeah. If you open up somebody's vintage cube and they got a foil Grim Monolith in there, you're probably not going to be too upset about the power that you see in there either. It's like, these are pretty...
Yeah, I know what I'm going to see next.
Yeah. There's probably a Mox Jet floating around about this price in there. Huh?
$2,500. I didn't think it was going to go to 2.
Right? It's fucking crazy how expensive this shit gets. Yuck. It's like, part of me is like, that's badass, but there's also a part of me that's like, I don't know if a card should cost this much.
I'll literally never play with one of these. Got it. Yeah.
And if I see one, I'll get scared.
Yeah.
Next up.
If I see one of these, I'm going to start flicking it.
Yeah. Throw it at the other person.
Yeah.
Next up.
Like a braid. Flick it off the table. Fuck you.
Pick it up by the edge and flip it 100 times. Do the Chaos Orb with it.
Yeah.
Next up. Badger Mole Cup.
Ooh.
This is a newer one. Thought I'd throw a little curveball.
Brand new little guy, yeah.
Wanted a green for a 2/2 mythic from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
The load bearing metagame Chuddy.
Badger. He's a creature type Badger Mole. When this creature enters Earthbend 1, and when you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. Every mountain starts as a molehill, completely indecipherable bit. A regular Badger Mole Cub runs you about $50.
Mm-hmm.
So how much does a foil Badger Mole Cub run you? Keep in mind, standard staple, incredibly powerful card. I've seen it in Vintage Cube. I've seen it in higher power.
It is one of the best green cards ever printed.
It's a good ass 2-drop.
Extremely good.
Good ass 2-drop. It's a lot of eternal format implications and current format implications, and they designed it for commanders. People are playing with it there.
I wonder
how much is a foil.
Well, I'm thinking, there's other like art versions of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's like a borderless version, and I think there might be an extended art version too.
I wonder how much difference that makes in the pricing of all of them collectively.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna double it and then add a little change. So let's go like let's go 130.
So you think so you're just thinking like it's 130 based off the fact that it's like
super $50 card. $50 card play. You know what? Maybe it's less. Maybe it's just not that much more.
You're kind of doubling back now. Huh?
Well, because like current foiling, price wise, it's so much different than old stuff.
Mm-hmm. It shows up a lot more frequently in product.
Yes, yeah, that's
there's still
exactly.
There's still chase foils though.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna see if I can snipe this one. I'm gonna go with $75.
Full copy of Badger Mole Cub for regular costs $50. Full cost $55. Folks, you might as well just fucking upgrade to the large. Get the
throw some fries in there.
Yeah, just get the meal, man. It doesn't matter.
Fine, I'll take the suppressor.
Collector boosters have low-key ruined the foil market, but it's really good for a dickhead like me who's just trying to buy a bunch of bulk rares.
It's true. It's true.
When I'm looking at Tenacious Underdog and I'm thinking, damn, that's going to be cool in my cube. How much is a foil? And I'm like, oh, it's still
nothing.
Still 50 cents.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I've seen multiple cards where literally the price was the same.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, who cares, man?
I've seen multiple cards recently in my foil journeys where there are certain foil versions that are less than the regular.
Yeah.
Because it looks like shit.
Yeah, they look bad.
Original Commander Legends, if anybody's out there that's played with the Commander Legends cards, the foils, no good. Yeah. They are bad.
Stinkers.
It literally looks like you dropped it in a fucking vat of grease. Mm-hmm. It's yucky. And that's it for my bit today for all that stuff. Glitters. I think you did a lot better than you give yourself credit for, but we did mostly get half of what the number actually was.
Yeah, usually.
It's just impossible
I could have done a lot worse. That's really what it is.
I think it's also much more charming to be like, oh, I don't know, maybe like $100. And it's like, no, wrong. $2,000.
This foil blood moon is 30,000. Just like completely made up numbers.
How much for foil spreading seas? $4 million.
We love Price Master.
Shout out Price Master. Folks. Friend of the show, Price Master.
Friend of the show, Price Master. I saw somebody at a convention with that costume on. And I was like, where did you even find these? Because it's not like that's a real costume.
Yeah.
You know?
Should have went up and been like, how much does this run you? $500 million.
The thing that always gets me about Price Master is you remember the bit and then you go look at the video and it is actually like 90 minutes long. It is like they are doing this for a really long time.
We're watching the edited down version and the video is still an hour.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Folks.
So today, we're talking about decks that freaking suck.
We're talking about decks that fucking suck.
They fucking suck. They're bad. They're no good.
Folks, this is the bottom of the barrel, and we were in the bottom of the barrel, and we were playing in the bottom of the barrel.
These decks, they litter, they jaywalk, and they do not vote.
These are some decks with some felonious intention. Oh my goodness gracious. So today
these decks are smoking in the grocery store.
The light comes on in the cockpit and you know I light the cigarette. Land the plane, see if I give a fuck.
I've got my Wi-Fi turned on.
Airplane mode? Yeah. My phone's always on airplane mode. Because I'm fucking using it on the airplane.
I was just thinking of things that are like kind of bad.
Yeah. Okay. I will say if somebody was in the grocery store and I was like sitting next to them and like picking out cereal, just lit a cigarette, I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I would tell them to stop.
Yeah, right. In my head, I'm like, well, it's probably not my place to be like, hey, cut it out. Yeah, will you quit it?
Yeah.
But I'm also
Sir?
like, I'm walking away.
Or ma'am.
I'm walking away going like, he shouldn't be doing that. That's not right. That's bad.
It's not the worst thing a guy's done in a grocery store, but
I'll tell you what, that's bad.
Not be doing that. Sir. I will not infringe upon your right to continue what you do, but I will express my right to that. I say maybe you shouldn't.
Mister, I've got opinions about your behavior.
Don't stop on my account, but know that I disapprove.
Yeah. No good.
Walking past the guy smoking a cigarette in the grocery store and shaking my head so everybody knows I disagree. How about we talk about these shitty ass fucking dog shit dick ass decks?
I'm down. You want to go for? I'll go first.
You go first because I did the bit.
And this is definitely up there with one of the worst I've ever played.
I don't even think I've seen this.
Yeah, I played it once.
Makes sense.
Folks, this is a pauper deck. You could call it green-black retrace. You could call it retrace control. You could call it dog shit, because that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
This deck revolved around 2 retrace cards. Retrace, if you're not aware, is a keyword mechanic that lets you... it reads as, you may cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a land card in addition to paying its other costs. Probably the most notable card you will ever see for this is Raven's Crime, which is a good card. It wasn't in this deck, but it's a good card. Because it just turns, if you're playing any sort of hand destruction type strategy, it's a good way to shut the door because you only need to play 1 copy. And once you have whittled down their deck and you have reached a point where you no longer need to make land drops, guess what? Every basic land you draw for the rest of the game makes them ditch a card out of their hand. It's pretty good.
Counter spells, those are done for pretty much. And
yeah.
If you draw a divination, I'm taking both.
It is really hard to claw your way back into a game when somebody starts doing this to you.
Mm-hmm.
The other card we were working off of was Siphon Life. This is a much worse retrace card.
Much worse.
It presented inevitability. It smiles smilingly. It says 1 black sorcery. Target player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Retrace.
Bang.
And then
upstairs.
So and then we found we gotta get lands into my hand all the time to be able to power out not power out, but at least have ammo for these retrace cards.
Right.
Because the goal would be have a Raven's Crime in the yard and have a Siphon Life in the yard and just do it every turn. So, ideally, we're paying 4 mana and ditching 2 lands
to nug
to make them discard a card and lose 2 life, and I'll gain 2 life, and we'll just do it forever. This is a lot more difficult and also not nearly as impactful as it needs to be.
for how many hoops we're jumping through, the end goal being 4 mana 4 mana burglar rat plus
it's half a Blightning.
Yeah.
And a card that I used in this deck for part of the green was Green Seeker. This is a green 1-drop creature elf spell shaper.
They don't make these no more.
Pay a green, tap, discard a card, which you could ditch your Raven's Crime or your Siphon Life.
I was seeing the combo. Genuinely, this is I'm impressed with the little overlapping pieces here.
Discard a card, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So it did a little bit of fixing if you needed it to do that. It got your thing in the yard to start retracing it. And then, because generally you're not looking to cast the Siphon Life outright. You're like, I'll get to that later. Raven's Crime, you can cast that whenever you draw it.
Yeah.
It's 1 mana. And then, after that, you look at your hand and you go, any of this that is worse than going Raven's Crime or Siphon Life, ditch that, go get a land and do that instead. Boom.
This is where
I'm pretty sure I was playing mulch in here too while I was at it.
Yeah. So this is where I start to see the cracks in the facade because you just said a card that is worse than Raven's Crime or Siphon Life.
That's the thing. A lot of problem that you would have often with the Green Seeker line here. A lot of the cards in your deck were better than Raven's Crime or Siphon Life.
Interesting.
You're usually looking at a Cast Down or a Weather the Storm or
wow,
something.
This kills fucking anything, huh?
Yeah.
Even after if it snuck out from under the Raven's Crime.
And there's one card I'm forgetting. It's like a Tree Folk.
It's Tilling Tree Folk, maybe?
Yeah, that one. That could put lands back in your hand from the yard.
Mm-hmm.
That was the other part of your creature suite.
Yep. What's not recurring? Tortured Existence All-Star Tilling Tree Folk.
Yeah. So that would help you get stuff back to keep feeding this horrible, awful engine. Yeah, this seemed like such a fun and neat idea. That was gonna be quirky and cool and fun, and I played it I put it together in an afternoon and played it for exactly one event, and immediately tore it to pieces. I was like, "This was so." I'm pretty sure I went like 0-4 with it. Like,
yeah, could we get a game?
I think I got like maybe a game off of somebody.
That's what's up.
Yeah, this one was no good.
A lot of these decks, folks, are ill-fated in that they will never win a game ever. But the reason that we keep believing is Magic is such a rich and beautiful game that it constantly creates little tiny synergies, and it fools you into thinking that you're a genius for seeing the overlap. But really what it is it's a siren song. It's calling you to crash your ship on the rocks.
Pretty much the only fun part about playing this, because it wasn't fun to play. Yeah. That was the worst part about it.
Once it gets going, it's a lot of doing the same thing over and over again.
The only fun to be had with this was seeing it somewhat function at any given moment. Like being like, it works!
Yeah. This is also an issue with like a lot of shitty decks that I've played, is that the fun part isn't the mechanical actual like execution, it's getting away with it.
Yeah. And this is what would happen with a million of my pauper decks, is because I was building them constantly and looking at every common that ever existed. And then, like, at one point I literally had like over 20 decks just sitting around, because I would just, it didn't cost any money to build them. And I would just, sleeve them up, and I'm like, cool. And I just like wouldn't test anything. I'd be like, this makes sense. And there you go. This one didn't stick around. This one made it through an afternoon.
I now have a local game store. I'm not going to dox and say where I live or anything like that, but recent developments have caused a local to spring up way closer than any local ever has for my...
Hell yeah.
Like, this is pretty much the closest a local game store's ever been to me.
Beast.
And they have a Pauper Weekly. I can't attend it because...
What day is it on?
It's Wednesdays.
Beep. It's on Wednesdays.
And I heard that they had it, and I was like, do you guys play the games casually, like, around it? And they're like, yeah, we'd probably play some games casually. And they have like a league going and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I miss Pauper so bad. I want to play it. And I was I was like taking a break at work today, and I was like catching myself on online retailer, like on a game store's website, and I was just like, Urza's Tower. Like, I actually had to like close the laptop. I was like, no, not it was the Green Goblin mask.
We can't do this.
No, play something else. Be honorable.
I think if I was gonna play again right now, well, I probably would play Bogle still.
Yeah,
but I don't know, it's probably something with Writhing Chrysalis in it.
That card is fucking annoying.
That card's a house.
Like, what if a 4-mana 4/5 blocked across 3 bodies and it was explosive vegetation?
Yeah. Well, the other thing, it'd either be doing something with that, or just something that just
beats face.
Just something that slaps the dog shit out of Tolarian Terror. I hate that deck so much.
Main deck Pyroblast.
Anything that can beat that. I hate that deck. Oh my god.
I do think it would be kind of like weird to put this kind of effect at common, but it would be very funny to make like a hyper specific Doomblade that says can't be countered. And it's like okay in the limited format, and all this stuff happens where it's like it kind of shakes out, and it's like this card ended up being a role player. You play it like how you would play like a Smother or something like that, but you put it in Pauper, and it's like, Tolarian Terror, your days are fucking numbered.
Yep. Got 4 in the sideboard. Might even start main decking them. We'll see.
Kaboom. Oh boy. You want to see what my first deck is?
Yeah,
I actually might skip around because I have a Pauper deck that I wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah,
it's the second deck on my slideshow. This is a brew that I made. I don't know if I've ever talked to you about this one.
Oh man, this is this is nasty.
Folks, when I worked at a game store right after COVID,
this deck's got symptoms.
It's malignant. I had a couple friends that worked at the game store I was working at, and we were like coming out of COVID. We were like still wearing masks to work and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it had been so long since any of us had played Magic, and we were all broke as dick. And I was like, you know what we should try out is Pauper, because I used to play a bunch of Pauper with my friends, and sometimes there were like I would force people to play Pauper weeklies with me, or I would play like Pauper on Moto. Like, we should all try Pauper. And I was like, and we should try and brew stuff. Like, obviously, you guys can show up with
let's come up with something.
Blue Black Delver if you really want to, and they did.
The only people that play this shit in paper are Italian. We've got to do better.
We got to swap the numbers around a little bit. We need to.
And Brazil. Shout out Brazil.
Shout out Brazil. Foguete champ.
Yes, the GOAT.
And so I was like, I'm going to brew something. And Kaldheim had just come out, and they put all 10 typed dual lands. And I was like, dude, Into the North? 2 mana, go get a Snowland, put into play tapped. This is fixing 5 ways. What I had neglected to think about was that Farseek was already legal and had been the whole time. So this like just didn't really matter that much.
It's more like you're playing. Well, that could just be 8 copies of Into the North.
Yeah. But I was like, what if I played 4 Into the North and 4 Growth Spiral?
Yeah.
And a bunch of like miscalculation type mana leak guys. And I play a 3-color mid-rangey kind of control deck. And my game plan
pile, if you will.
It's a pile. My game plan is on turn 2, I either kill their guy with a cast down.
Yep.
I counter whatever they play, or I get to ramp. And then when I get to 4, I get to just play Blastoderm.
I will say the dream hand scenario of going like tap land turn 1.
Yeah, untap land turn 2.
And then you're sitting there with removal, counterspell, ramp.
It's all there.
And it's instance all the way down. The idea is so beautiful.
Yes.
And you can really see why one would think this might work.
Because you're sitting there and you're like, okay, so I do all this, and then if I ramp, then I get to play a turn 3 Blastoderm.
Yeah.
And how do you kill this thing? It's huge, and it has Shroud.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. I only get like 3 turns with it, because I'm just going to be fucking...
Yeah,
it holds down the fort, or I swing with it.
Yeah.
So here's the problem. The turn that I play a tap land, my opponent is allowed to cast spells.
Yeah. Yeah,
So if they just played like a Young Wolf, wraps.
Yeah.
Game's completely over, folks.
Or like, where it's really going to get you, it's going to be like Fairy Seer.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm toast. Yeah, I got my miscalc in my hand. That's really good against Ninja the Deep Hours.
Yeah.
So I would play games of this against my friends playing Blue Black Delver, and I would get rinsed. And they'd be like, you know what you need to do is I've realized that your Blastoderm just never turns sideways, because it can't. Because I'll just play 2 guys, and you can't swing in. Or like you want to block because you've already taken so much damage.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just in a bad spot where like Blastoderm just never gets to turn sideways. So what you need to do is you need to have a late game control finisher that plays into you having a bunch of Blastoderms around and still kind of like mitigates some of the damage against like creatures.
Yeah.
You need to play Evankar's Justice.
Yep. The Greedy Grinner.
4 mana sorcery.
The original Greedy Grinner.
Evankar's Justice deals 2 damage to each creature and player, and it's got buyback for 3, which means if you pay 3 extra, put it back in your hand.
Yep.
This didn't help.
It
didn't really do anything, and a lot of times you would have an Evankar's Justice in your hand and go, I can't cast this because I'll die.
Yeah. Yeah, because they have smacked the shit out of me repeatedly.
Yeah, Lightning Bolt still just keeps going face because it's not going to hit the Blastoderm.
No, it is not. Yeah, this is a tough one.
Because it truly was the first time that I realized that Magic decks are not just like do X and then your opponent will always do Y.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, man. Sometimes it depends.
Because the thing is, there is stuff this could beat.
Yeah, 100%. I think if you play against Tron, it's actually probably fine. Like, just like
maybe
Prophetic Prism Tron, if they go turn 1 tower map and you just like hold up miscalc on turn 2 for some like stupid shit that they're going to do on turn 2, or like get to Growth Spiral and sneak under him and play a Blastoderm, you might get to clear, you might actually get all 3 hits with the Blastoderm.
It's possible. It's possible.
Deal a clean 15.
And finish out with the Justice.
Yeah. And they're at 40.
Yeah.
They're at like a commander life total.
I'm just seeing the world where they just go tower mine, plant, and the game is just wraps.
Yeah, they go tower, mine, prophetic prism, and then power plant, Fangren Marauder.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh wow, right. You tapped your turn. You also played a 5/5 on turn 3.
And like also for the time period that you would have been playing this too, it's going to be the 5-color Flickertron.
Oh yeah,
that's just like the good stuff pile.
This was Bonder's Ornament era where it was like.
That's a miserable card.
I actually just like have so much mana, I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You got another deck for me?
I do. This little history lesson for our viewers at home. When I first got into Modern, I've played a lot of Selesnya. Played a pretty decent amount of Collected Company.
Mm-hmm.
Played a pretty decent amount of Arbor Elves and Utopia Sprawls.
Some amount of burn.
I've played a hell of a lot of Bogles. So, but actually, the first deck I got into Modern on was Blue-Black. It only had 2 cards in it, though, because I played Zombie Hunt. This deck was called, people used to call this London Zombie Hunt because this idea came about mainly when they changed the Mulligan rules.
Yeah, but for people who are playing Magic now who started late, they had different rules for the Mulligan. It used to be if you went to 6, you would draw 6. And you got a little scry afterwards.
A little scry, a little consolation
Best feeling in the entire world. You keep your 6 and you go, let me get the scry.
Yes, thank you. I think the original Mulligan rule was you literally didn't mulligan unless you had all lands or no lands.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else, you just got to keep that.
And then the rest of it was just like, fuck it, go down a card.
Yeah.
Eat shit.
And it was probably a lot easier when people were just cheating all the time. So probably rule just didn't matter that much.
Clean 7.
Yeah.
Wow.
Looks good to me.
Yeah.
Who put these cards here? But the reason I played this is because I was like, you know what? I've played a lot of Pauper. I've played an amount of Commander. And a bunch of my friends who play more Magic than me play Modern.
Really popular in our state.
And it seems like they're having so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what? I think I want to get into it. Let me see. But I was like, well, I have something stupid in my brain. I don't want to borrow anybody's cards. I want my own stuff.
But you don't want to buy any expensive cards.
Well, not just yet. I don't know if I even like the format.
Yeah, take it.
So I said, I'm going to pull up with the cheapest possible deck that is technically playable, and I'm just going to enter an F&M and just see if I dig it at all.
So, Miller, how does Zombie Hunt work?
All right. So, the reason that the deck is basically only 2 cards. First card you need, Treasure Hunt. Reveal card. This is 1 and a blue. Sorcery. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. Then put all cards revealed this way into your hand.
Holy cow, you get so lucky. You might even draw like 3 or 4 cards.
And then the other card that you want to go and get is Zombie Infestation. It's 1 and a black. Enchantment. Discard 2 cards from your hand. Put a 2/2 black zombie creature token into play. So the thing about Treasure Hunt is, what if almost the entirety of our deck was lands? And if we get lucky enough, when we cast the Treasure Hunt, it'll be like 30 lands and then a zombie infestation. Oh my God. It's perfect. We'll put the zombie infestation into play, and then we'll have a million zombies ready to rock.
And we do it on our turn, so they have summoning sickness, so that's whatever.
Yes. But, so really, those are the only 2 cards that actually matter. But if you want to be a little funny with it, I played Reliquary Towers in there, because it's not like the mana matters, really.
You need all black and all blue.
Yeah, like you can get there and you're going to draw a million lands. So you can do this with mostly basics. But I would play Reliquary Towers, because that way when I treasure hunt for like 30, if I get lucky, because this doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you treasure hunt and the zombie infestation's like right there and you just draw like 1.
But you found the card.
Yeah, you found the card. Yippee. Hopefully I'll find another treasure hunt soon. But I played Reliquary Towers because, like, when you get lucky and you draw 1 million, it was perfect because it would be like turn 3. And you would go with 2 mana in play, with a land drop ready to go, treasure hunt, draw 1 million, get your zombie infestation, play Reliquary Tower for turn, and these are all mine.
Try and take them.
This deck is really funny. It sucks. It's really bad. It's extremely inconsistent. There's a million reasons why the treasure hunt doesn't always work out how you want it to.
Lose to a disenchant.
You lose to your opponent interacting with you in any way that is not just destroy creature.
Boarded 4 spell snares and lose.
Yeah, there's so many. Basically, if your opponent is playing any card that is not creature removal, you probably cannot beat them. I will say, the first time I played this, I did win games with it.
I bet.
I beat Jund with it.
Oh,
because what do they do about?
Yeah. The one week I decide not to bring Maelstrom Pulse.
It was very funny resolving a treasure hunt and putting a zombie infestation into play and having a hand of actually like 33 lands and going, go. And my opponent on Jund is like, Liliana
uptick. Yeah.
I just start ditching cards. But yeah, this deck is terrible. It's really funny. You can play it in. You could still technically play it in Modern. You might legal. Get somebody with it. It's not good though.
I think that
this was purely just am I going to even enjoy this tournament experience even a little bit?
Yeah, let's see what other people are playing.
Yeah. And you know what? The answer was yes. I had fun. And after that event, I basically threw the deck away and I just threw it in the garbage and started building something else. And landed on Bogles, and that shit was awesome.
The issue with decks like Zombie Hunt is that the concept is so cool. It's like, wow, right? I figured out this little puzzle and I executed it. I'm like, dude, look at how clever I am. I had circumvented the rules in a certain kind of interesting way, and I get to do something kind of interesting and neat.
Yeah.
And then you do the thing like 4 times, and you're like, yeah, I don't think I actually want to do this anymore.
Yeah, this is all this does.
Yeah, how many times do I have to see the puppy backflip before I kind of just don't give a shit anymore?
It's not like there's like a line or a different line.
Yeah, what kind of cool, interesting thing do you get to do with this deck?
I mean, I guess like there's MBFCs now.
Ooh.
You know,
that actually makes the deck worse.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's kind of just nowhere to go with this one. There's just nothing.
Zombie Hunt.
Not a lot of meat on this bone for the zombie to hunt.
It's really funny. Zombie Hunt, very bad, but I would consider it like a deck that somebody is like smiling when they play it.
Yeah.
The actual direct polar opposite of it is Belcher.
Yeah.
Where it's all spells, and maybe the one land. And I bet motherfuckers are smiling playing that too, and it actually wins.
I guess it's somewhat similar to like maybe like Oops as well. Mm-hmm. Oops all spells, which is playable in like 3 formats right now.
Yeah, I mean
it's in Pauper, Modern, and Legacy.
Moderns is mostly Belcher because they're doing like War of Invention shit and like, oh guys, remember Lotus Bloom?
Actual for real ass Oops all spells is in Modern right now. I saw it.
Well, they're not like Dread returning or anything.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
I didn't look at the list.
Yeah,
I said I don't need to see that.
Yeah, most of the people who are doing
get that away from me.
Most of the people who are doing my deck is all lands is Belcher. Like they're just putting Goblin Char Belcher into play.
All I'm saying is I was checking out Modern and I saw the name Oops all spells on a deck, and to me it was a guy smoking in the grocery store. Yeah. I was like,
sir, I don't know how you got in here with that.
I gotta go get some frozen pizzas, man.
Dude, going to the Kroger, going to the front counter, being like, can I get some Reds? And they're like, yeah, sure. And they get them. I'm like, thanks. And then I walk back into the store.
Yeah. This is my hobby.
Like, sir, what are you doing? You're doing it like how when you get like something from the deli, you eat it as you go and you pay for the wrapper. You have an empty box of smokes you put on the counter at the grocery store. I'll pay for them now. What do you mean now?
You're like, hey, sir, and you're like, I brought a lighter.
Yeah. I'll just be over by the lettuce.
Yeah.
Making it gray.
What do you have up next?
We can start from my top now if you want to. I've told you about this deck ad infinitum.
Oh yeah.
This deck is the most cool ass fucking dope smoker deck.
The thing about this deck is at least it's cool.
It's cool as fuck. Yeah. Folks, this is Jund Collected Company. Collected Company, for those not tapped in, is 4 mana for an instant. You reveal
instant. That's important.
Instant. You look at the top 7 cards of your library and you put 2 creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less into play, and then you put the rest on the bottom. So the idea is you have a bunch of fucking 1 to 3 drops in your deck, and you just go end step, put some fucking dickheads into play, and kill you die. This was an Aspiring Spike Brew that I just fucking cribbed completely, where you played Lightning Skelemental.
Bang.
Black, red for a 6/1 with haste.
Straight up coolest card from the whole set.
Dope as fuck. When he deals combat damage to a player, discard 2 cards, please. And then at the end step, you sack him.
And what are the stats on that guy?
6/1.
Bang!
Turn him sideways. So the idea was that you would Coco and put 2 Skelementals into play. Blast.
Yes.
And they're like, well, I don't want to block them. They're going to get, like...
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's trample, too. It's like something crazy.
I think.
I'm going to look really quick just to make sure I don't make myself look like a idiot.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Because regular ball lightning, yeah, it is trample.
Yeah.
Trample 6/1. So you don't want to block it because it has trample. But if it deals damage to you...
And then you trade badly, usually.
Yeah.
And using removal on the thing feels bad.
Yeah, because it's going to die anyways.
Yeah.
But you have to, or else you're going to get fucking mind twisted.
Yeah, the spot that you end up by getting hit by this thing is way worse.
And then, after the Skelementals have done their damage, you go to your turn and you're like, unearth one of my Skelementals.
Kaboom.
Unearth, return a creature with mana value 3 or less to the battlefield. Another 6, hold that. So this deck was just full of like infinite 3-drops that were either funny to unearth or funny to Coco into.
Yeah.
So you had like Lightning Skelemental and Seasoned Pyromancer. You had Grist, which is technically a creature anywhere except the battlefield.
Coco my Grist.
Coco my Grist, go to my turn up ticket, bang. And then you just had some like random like Ragavan, Nimble Pilferers and shit like that.
The Grist plays so well with the Skelemental.
Yes, bro, it does.
Because does it sack at the end of combat or end of turn?
So you'd swing with the 6/1.
Get in, Grist.
2 cards, sack it, kill your guy.
Wow, it all works. It all makes so much sense.
Yeah, because you swing with the 6/1, I'm not blocking. And you're like, well, the creature's dead anyways because I got my Grist now. Blow.
And how much money did this deck cost?
I will say, most of the investments that I put into this deck, except the Collected Companies, were cards that I continued to play with afterwards, or
stuff you already had.
Stuff I already had, or stuff that I was like, this is probably fine to buy.
Yeah.
I bought Verdants for this deck.
Sure.
4 Verdant Catacombs just had gotten reprinted. Probably one of the cheapest it had ever been at that point. I think I got them for like 15, 20 a piece.
Yeah.
I'm like, 4 Verdants is nothing.
And
this is all I do.
That's basically what they're at now.
Yeah. This was back when I was playing Modern, like, you're going to think I'm joking. I was playing like 3 to 4 times a week.
No, yeah.
Like at weeklies. Yeah. I was going to weeklies like 4 times a week. And I was like, 4 Verdant Catacombs for my main hobby.
All the shops in our area at the time, everybody's running something.
You could literally do clockwise and go to a Modern event every single week.
Everybody is running something, and they all just put them on different days so that they wouldn't be competing with each other.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was genuinely the closest we had ever gotten to world peace, and everything fell apart. But believe it or not, I've told you all of the things about this deck that are cool and awesome. This shit sucked.
It's got to be like tier 1.
It was really bad. So the issues with this deck,
tier 3.5 maybe,
is that it had lots of little tiny things that were really good against some of the top decks. But then there were certain decks that you just like couldn't beat in a million years. Like you couldn't beat Fury, and you couldn't beat like certain Ragavan draws because they would just mana leak the fuck out of you.
Yeah, you know what's funny about the Fury, right? Is like whatever you've got on board when you're trying to Skelemental somebody.
Yeah.
And they're looking at the Fury and they're like, well, if I use this Fury, I'm out like 2 cards. But if I get hit by the Skelemental, I'm out 2 cards. So I might as well just Fury this whole board, you stupid idiot.
Yeah. You're sitting there and you're like, dude, my Skelementals are about to eat, and you have the Grist in play, and they're like, ephemerate my Fury before combat, 1 elemental, 2 on the Grist. And you're like, what did I do to you, man?
You are sitting there looking at your really awesome board, and you look up, and your opponent is like, I walk for miles. And just loading up the machine gun, and just everything's gone.
Smacking the floor for the pyro.
Oh fuck! I didn't realize Dave Bautista's my opponent today. Oh god damn it! This bit of danger
puts me through the fucking table.
You're like, help me!
You're scary. You're so scary. I love you in the Marvel movies,
dude,
though.
Can you imagine picking up Ragavan for the Batista bomb? It's just little ass monkey. Kaboom!
As God is my witness, Ragavan is broken in half. Good God! Good God! Somebody get an ambulance!
Ragavan with his stupid ass goggles, and he's got the tape like he's a Dudley.
Darcy, get the tables!
Oh my God!
Joke for 2 people. Sorry about that.
No,
folks.
it gotta at least be like 4 people, because 2 is me and you. So I'm thinking 2 is other people out there. That'll hit for somebody. It's got to.
And folks,
I've noticed across the board, often there is usually a bit of crossover between Magic and wrestling.
Yeah, just 2 people playing make believe.
Yeah, exactly. Now Magic and
getting ruined by intellectual properties.
Exactly. Magic and basketball, that's when it's like, okay, maybe not. A lot of times there's
there's a bit more work to be done, but there's definitely some over. I mean, like, we have a lot of friends who like basketball and Magic.
It's true.
But
It's true.
Do you have another deck to show me?
I do. This.
Oh, I've heard about this one.
Was the first deck I played after Bogles, where I was like, I want to
try some shit out.
I want to play something.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a very extremely ill-fated venture. Folks, it's mono green Stompy or mono green Devotion. But the thing is, you don't play any Nykthos because that land's really expensive and low-key also not even particularly good in the deck. Really, what this deck cares about is the pips at the top of every single card you would ever put in play, because we've got 4, count 'em, 4 Aspect of the Hydra in the main. Instant 1 green. Target creature gets +X until end of turn, where X is your devotion to green.
Yeah, so this shit is just like you're building your deck in a way where this is berserk.
Yeah, exactly. You need this to be a shotgun every single time you cast it on somebody. And straight up, I could not tell you what the 1-drop was in this deck. I don't remember. You know what? It was probably the Graveyard Hate Savannah Lions. That's a hybrid.
Oh, Dryad Militant?
Yeah, it was probably like a Dryad Militant or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, get that Desperate Ritual shit out of here, Buster Brown.
But you've got
great against Lava Dart.
You've got a lot of aggressive creatures hanging out in here. We've got Strangle Root Geist, 2 green pips up top, Haste Undying 2/1. This thing's getting busy.
Oh yeah.
Old Growth Troll.
Another getting busy type of guy.
It used to be like Steel Leaf Champion.
Oh my, what a beast.
What a beast. And by the time I started trying to do this bullshit, a beast no longer. More like a hound dog that is beyond his years. A dog don't hunt no more.
Yeah, the guy breaks into your house and he tries to play with him.
Yeah, you go, oh. So our Old Growth Troll kind of beast mode, because even if they removed it, gets sent to the back line and it's still providing you devotion.
Mm-hmm.
Old Growth Troll, triple green pips. Creature, Troll, Warrior, Trample. When Old Growth Troll dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield. It's an aura enchantment with enchant forest you control. Enchanted forest has add double green. And also pay 1, sack the land, make a 4/4 with trample. And this guy's a 4/4. It does everything, and it's annoying.
It is really annoying. Miller, I hate to derail you.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm looking at the art for Old Growth Troll, and I've never really looked at it up close before.
Yeah, what about him?
So in my head, Old Growth Troll kind of has his elbows together. And he's like, he's leaning over. And when I saw this art for the first time, I thought that the thing between his legs that was coming up to his chest was his knee.
No.
Yeah, his leg is in the back.
No, that's his belly.
Yeah, I was about to say, is Old Growth Troll pregnant?
Maybe.
Like,
I mean,
first of all, congratulations.
Could be just the biggest beer gut of all time.
Yeah. What kind of beer is Old Growth Troll drinking at that size?
Something strong.
Just fucking.
This ain't Joe Pappy's beer. This is something different.
Sitting in front of the Stone Cold beer truck, and they're just emptying the whole bitch into Old Growth Trolls.
We're just turning the truck sideways. I mean, just
shotgun
get
the truck,
to it.
Kick our knuckles into the side.
Yeah, get the oil pan in there too while we're at it. Who cares? He can take it most likely.
You can drive.
And yeah, this shit had like a bunch of Rancors in it.
Beast.
And a bunch of the deck. Enough things have trample in it that you would just run ram through. Because, like, you needed something.
Oh, yeah.
And it basically, sometimes it does burn damage. And my little cheeky one of, because we're already playing stupid, so I might as well throw something really stupid in here.
Yeah.
You know what plays really nice with ram through?
What?
Galta!
Yeah, we're actually just bored. We're just literally bored.
Yeah, that was bored. I will say I cast it more often than you'd think for a reasonable amount of mana.
Galta, I think, is such an inspiring game piece because you see it and you're like, wow. Like, it definitely appeals to the Timmy brain of like, dude, this guy is so fucking big.
He's huge.
He's so big. How am I going to put enough guys into play to make him cost that much? And then you play against somebody whose deck is built around Galta, and you're like, you had like 2 guys out.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
This deck would often, whenever I did cast it, it was usually like I have 2 cards in play, but like I just have a lot of mana anyways because you're playing like Wild Growths and stuff.
Yeah, you just have.
So might as well.
Yeah. For those not tapped in, Galta Primal Hunger's 10 green.
The biggest dinosaur ever.
Legendary creature, Elder Dinosaur. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control. And it's a 12/12 with trample. So you see, it's 12 mana.
In a perfect world, it could be a 2 mana 12/12 trampler.
And I'm going to be honest, that perfect world happens way more often than you think it does. It is not that hard to put 10 power into play.
No, it's like usually pretty easy.
Yeah. They'd be putting 3 power on 3 drops.
I was usually casting this as like a 4-drop.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what plays really nice with Ram through though. I mean, there were definitely, I at least had one game, I think one ever, where I truly got everything handed to me. My opponent basically dying and laying down at my feet to get killed by the stupidest deck of all time.
Right.
And I did get to go put a Galta into play. Aspect of Hydra.
Ram
through. And just, like, you're dead out of combat. You're dead main one.
Yeah, I don't have to go to combat. You actually Yu-Gi-Oh! OTK'd him.
Kablowie.
Yeah.
It's your fault for having a creature in play. They had, like, a token or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you actually would take less damage if your board was empty.
It's so funny, yeah, that you just actually were like, all right, I'm gonna overlay into fucking Galta detached material.
Yeah, I basically got to go. What the hell is the one that? I just got to Numeron somebody.
Yeah,
right. Just field spell. Boop 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 boop. Yippee! Your fault. It's not my fault. It's yours.
Any negates?
And I know the way I've spoken about this deck is that it was awesome and cool and was really running hot all night. No, it wasn't. There are just so... I will say the core strategy of this deck was not bad.
Right.
It all does make sense. And it was very cheap to build.
Oh, I bet.
But it loses to a million things not particularly on a different axis. It's just that there are so many things doing this better. Just way better.
Yeah, there's usually at least one deck in most constructed formats that's like, I just have big guys, man. Just got some big fucking guys.
And also like something going for like a combat tricky aggro sort of route. Prowess is beating you pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Anything with big guys is beating you bad. Control is really beating you bad.
Because you'd expect your threats are so sticky that even if you get wrathed, you're kind of like still doing okay. No.
They just were kind of down to just like exile them like with stuff, and they would be fine. And also like too, you go for like you're like, finally this is the one, and you all in on like an aspect of the Hydra play, and they're like,
Solitude.
Cut it out, man.
Yeah.
Just quit it.
That's really cool. You put like,
I was like, oh.
You put like 2 cards into that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
You want to discard them?
But it was fun.
It looks fun.
And you know what? Off of the back of that deck, that's when I started playing green-white
stuff.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Which was a far more successful deck, I will say. Off the back of Mono Green Stompy, I started playing. I don't even. I was playing Selesnya mid range, and that sounds like I was doing something real, but actually I was putting Yasharn into play on turn 2, and you know what? That was way more fun and way more successful.
And you can be a big pig too, Luau.
Yeah. I was playing Green White Pig. That's what I was playing. Green White Hog. I was playing Selesnya Hog.
Oh, you're losing me. I was playing with my hog at table 2.
Every F&M I would pull up, and I'd pay $5 to play with my hog. And they'd let me in public.
And it didn't matter who I was playing with. Kids, adults, strangers.
Anybody would let me play with my hog. Actually, some of those decks were not letting me play with my hog. I will tell you. Some of those decks were cut it out. I would lose clean.
Put that hog away.
Yeah. And you know what? They weren't the good guys.
Yeah, I bet.
The bad guys were telling me to put my hog away. I said, I paid money to be here.
Yeah, I'll smoke this cigarette in here if I damn well please.
What do you got next before I go to jail?
You've seen me play this one. This might be the only deck on this list you've actually seen me actually cast spells from.
What do we got?
Grixis Curve.
This one's beast mode. I like this deck.
This is the coolest fucking popper deck I've ever played in my life, and it sucked so bad. But it made me so happy. I actually, when people were like, "You want to play Popper again?" I was like, "I probably just still have this shit put together, complete 75."
I want you to know, I was looking through my cards, and I had 4 Frantic and 4
Accumulated Knowledge.
Knowledge. And I was like, low key, you know what might be fun to play?
The Curve.
Grixis Curve, folks.
Grixis a little to the left. Folks, this is a 3-color control deck based around the artifact lands from MH2, like Dross Forge Bridge and Silver Bluff Bridge. And the idea is that you would play Cleansing Wildfire, targeting your own land.
Get my mana right.
It would go to destroy it, but it's indestructible, so it wouldn't get blown up. But then the game would still be like, you go get a basic and draw a card.
Yeah.
Rampant, go draw a card. Oh my god.
That's good.
That's beast mode.
And all you have to do is play some bad lands.
And so now we got all this mana and we got all these different colors. I'm thinking we play Control and we start playing stuff like Frantic Inventory. Draw cards equal to the number of cards named Frantic Inventory in your graveyard +1. And we just start sitting around fucking playing
instant card advantage.
Instant card advantage. We're playing lightning bolts and galvanic blasts, and we're playing
Cast
counter
down.
spells and cast downs. We're playing every removal spell they legally allow us to have, and we're bringing as many counter spells as they'll let us before we get kicked out.
But Alex, how do you win?
So there's a little card in Strixhaven that you might have heard of called Serpentine Curve. The deck is named around 3 and a blue for a sorcery. Make a 0/0 green and blue creature token. All right, that seems kind of bad.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's
4 mana for
instantly.
this?
Hold the fort. It says something else. Put X +1/+1 counters on that creature, where X is 1 plus the number of instant and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard.
And in the graveyard. It's both.
So there's a blue-red version of this deck that the main idea was that you would like twin cast, like whatever the blue-red copy spell in common is?
It is
it's like teach by example.
It's teach by example.
So you would like play this and then copy it, and then you would have two just guys who you'd make like two 10-10s. And it's like, oh my god, I have two big ass fucking guys. Damn. But I didn't like that because it's just too fragile to removal. You kill my guy and then I'm fucked. So I was playing Fling.
Oh yeah.
And I just played one. And you saw enough cards throughout the game. And you just did enough fiddling around and waiting for stuff to happen.
The thing about it was always with Serpentine Curve, you didn't need to get any dice out.
Yeah.
You didn't even need to keep track.
I didn't even really have the token.
The number was always big enough that it's lethal.
Yeah. So for those who don't really
you just go this many, man.
Yeah. This sounds like cheating, and it's not. But this is how the stack works.
Oh, yeah.
This is how priority works in Magic. I cast Serpentine Curve, and I've got 35 instants in my
1,000.
Yeah, I've got 1,000 instant sorceries in my graveyard. And you go, that resolves because you don't have a counterspell. But you got a Doomblade in your hand. You're like, I'm about to kill the fuck out of this stupid piece of shit snake.
No, you're not.
And I go, all right, that resolves. Stack's clear. I got a big ass guy in play. Well, now it's still my turn, and I have priority. So I just cast Fling, and as an additional cost, I just sack my guy. So now Fling's on the stack. And you're like...
You're looking at this Doomblade feeling like a big stupid
You're like, where'd the snake go? And it's like, oh, I ate it.
He's up in the air, buddy.
I'm throwing him. Are you going to stand there? Are you going to get hit by it? So Fling just it's really hard to interact with at that point. It was like a 2-card kill condition, but like obviously you could still counterspell it. But this deck was built in a way where if you were worried about them having counterspell, your hand is Serpentine Curve and Fling, and then counterspell, dispel, spell pierce.
Yep.
And
dispel,
you avoided
spell pierce because these are the only ones that are going to matter.
And you have every land in your deck in play. And it got to a point where I was genuinely so surprised at how often I was killing people with Fling that I just took like a bunch of Serpentine Curves out of my deck, and I had it basically. I think I had like 2 curves, 1 Fling.
I'm pretty sure.
And I just had people start signing the Fling. I was like, if I killed you with it, you had to sign it. And it got to a point where if I knew that they didn't have it, I would like bring in duresses and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, you don't have any interaction? I would just already be taking it out of the sleeve as I cast it.
There's also like, there's a lot of spots too where when you really know it's just doors open, where you're just like, pretty sure I curve for 10 here.
You could just just make a big fucking
pretty
guy.
sure I just hit you for 10 and fling it the same turn.
Yeah, because a lot of people
just do it all like that.
Probably your sideboard plan, which makes sense. So you bring a bunch of fucking like counter spells in.
Yeah.
And you take out all your removal. So if I sneak a decent curve in.
The thing about the deck is that there's only 2 cards that matter.
Yeah. You only die to like 2 things. You still also get Galv blasted for like 1 million.
Yeah, you might get to a point in the game where you're like, face, face, right? Like,
I don't think I ever 20 bombed anybody. Like the mystical like 16 from the Galv blasts and then
and just finish it out with
2 bolts. Yeah, I definitely did full playset of bolts in a lot of games though, because you just saw like all of them. This deck was cool as fuck, and it was a miracle if you 3-1'd, because you could not be burned in a million years.
No.
Under no circumstances.
Nope. This does not beat any flavor of burn. Does not beat, like, creature-heavy red deck wins burn. Does not beat...
Like Madness.
Does not beat Thermal Alchemist burn. Does not beat Madness burn.
Doesn't beat Kiln Fiend.
Nope.
You'd think it would. Nope.
No.
They play their Apostles' Blessing. Good luck, buddy.
Hot Dogs is going to just take you to... Take you to the pound town.
They're going to lay that pussy down on the ground. If I was a bad bitch, I'd want to fuck me too. Thank you, Annalie Chapa, for all of your hard work out there.
They gotta give him a plaque,
a Congressional Medal of Honor. This deck was so fucking fun. You know what? After we filmed today, I'm just gonna go put this back together.
It's good.
I still have the Fling.
I would venture that this might be the best deck we have on this.
This is the first deck I've listed so far. I think I probably won more with Jun Coco.
And it's not good.
No.
I would give it like tier, because people play it now still.
They play the blue-red version, yeah.
And that version is like tier 2 at best.
Yeah.
That is like,
they lost the sauce when they were like, I'm going to take all these artifact lands out and put in fucking Lorien revealeds. Boo!
Yeah, no.
Stop making your decks good, you fucking coward.
And this deck has no creatures in it. If that part didn't get put across, it like maybe has like one.
You know what really inspired me to maybe put this back together? I saw those Serpentine Curve decks on Goldfish.
Yeah, you want to know who's in the creature slot? The singular creature.
3 Augur of Bolus. Probably have to censor that. I don't know.
We can finally get you your
Pumpkin Hill.
Your Pumpkin Hill moment.
But yeah, that's Grixis Curve. This deck was so fun. Excited to play it again sometime and put somebody else on the poster.
I don't even remember what my next one is. Oh, this bullshit.
Yes, I've heard tales about this deck.
All right, folks. So I told you about some modern decks. I told you about one pauper deck, but here's the thing. I got one more. This, while maybe not the worst pauper deck I ever played, it was the most miserable. This pulled off a feat that I have never heard of anybody else in the history of my playing Magic. Nobody else has told me that they have been able to pull this off. I went to time game 1 against the same opponent 2 weeks back to back. Folks, this is Tethmos High Priest. I've played this in Tethmos High Priest is a 2 and a white creature cat cleric, and it has heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets it, return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Cool. So playing like some like aggro pump spell kind of deck?
Nope. You are sitting around and doing fuck all forever. So originally, I played this in white-black. And the best play you could be making... so here's the thing, right? What are we targeting it with? I'm thinking anything that says protection. I'm thinking anything with rebound, like, I don't know, ephemerate. Because that way you'll get multiple heroic triggers. And basically the whole point is put Tethmos into play and keep it alive for the rest of the game. And it's not difficult to do that. And what you would get back would be things like Kami of False Hope, which is white Spore Frog. Sacrifice, it's a 1 mana 1/1 creature spirit. Sacrifice Kami of False Hope. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn.
None of it.
So we're never getting hit, ever.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't got to worry about combat damage anymore. And then you're like, well, how do we generate advantage? Not a lot of ways, but I can think of a way to generate disadvantage for my opponent. Augur of Skulls, 1 and a black.
Skeleton Wizard.
Skeleton Wizard. Coolest typing a thing can have. Sacrifice Augur of Skulls. Target player discards 2 cards. Play this ability only during your upkeep. And folks...
You know when ephemerate happens.
You can stack this in such a way that 1 Augur of Skulls says your whole hand. All of it. Goodbye. And I don't even remember how this was winning. Straight up, I don't. I don't remember.
Well, from what you told me about going to time game 1 2 weeks back to back against your good friend Oliver, I don't think it did.
So here's the thing, right? In week 1, I pulled up with white-black Tethmos High Priest. And the best thing I could do in my deck was Mind Twist you with Augur of Skulls, and I'm sure there was something that, like, drained you somehow. And I don't know, maybe it did that. And Oliver pulled up with Tortex, which is Tortured Existence, which is a dredge deck that uses the card Tortured Existence. This is a 1 mana black enchantment.
Coolest card ever.
It is cool. It's pretty damn cool.
Doesn't do fuck all.
And do you have to pay a black?
Mm-hmm. It's black. You discard a guy.
Discard a creature. Get a creature back. And so this is another looping Spore Frog type of deck where combat never happens. And you just kind of get to sit there and churn forever. And we had 2 decks churning forever, and neither of us were willing to concede. And neither of us could really particularly figure out who was ever in an advantage state. And also we were gaining a lot of life, and nobody had cards, and it just kind of, we just sat there and stared at each other with pulling our pud.
Yeah. You and Oliver
under the table doing absolutely stone cold fuck off nothing.
You and Oliver were in the parking garage, and you were both revving your motors as fast as you possibly could with the parking brake on, and then you both ran out of gas, and you stepped out of your cars, and you died from the fumes.
And we said, good race.
Good race, good race.
Hit the floor. And so next week, I think to myself, you know what? This white-black version of the deck just didn't really work too well, because sure, the Aggro Skulls thing is funny, but it just didn't generate advantage particularly.
Yeah.
So I'll go white-green, where I'll generate all the advantage. Elvish Visionary, draw me cards, get in here. Kami of the False Hope, you're out. Spore Frog, come on in, buddy. And guess who my round 1 opponent was the next week? Folks, it's Oliver on Tortex, and we went to time game 1 again. And yeah, this deck was bad.
Low key,
it was fun.
I genuinely do believe in our current day with the modern technology that we have.
You think there's something to this?
It might be time to hit the lab.
Well,
Bro, get back Masked Vandal against Affinity.
I'm saying,
start pow, 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 pow.
The thing about this one, at least with the white-black version, was it also made Unearth feel very appealing.
Dude, yeah.
So you're like, get back my High Priest, duh.
Yeah. What's homie from Modern Horizons 2, the white-black guy? That's like
Breathless Knight.
This might be a Breathless Knight. I have been trying to make a Breathless Knight.
Breathless Knight,
so
Tethmos
long.
High Priest, a bunch of Unearths, and then it just
Ephemerate. Rafine's Informant. You can start pitching the guys.
Yeah. Maybe this is something.
Maybe there's some.
Maybe we're totally not completely head up our own ass, huffing the fumes, just mainlining. You know, maybe this could do something, man.
What's the shit from I Think You Should Leave? There's got to be a way to make money off this.
But I will say that deck was fun. It wasn't good. It could win, mostly by people conceding against you.
That seems to be the theme of tonight. I think that actually is the motto of all these decks is, this deck wasn't good. It was fun. You could win.
Folks, it's got potential. Because the thing about so many formats is the most fun thing you can be doing is brewing up some bullshit.
And speaking of brewing up some bullshit.
And crushing reality.
Yes.
Bringing you back down to earth. What do you got next?
Speaking of brewing up some bullshit, my last deck that I want to talk about. I've talked about this one.
Baby.
Infinitely. This was
I think we're just addicted to this Unearth card.
I love Unearth. It's so cool. Unearth is the coolest fucking card ever, man. It literally, like, on the face of the card, it's like, I need you to start cheating right now. Start cheating. It's
like a prescription to just break the rule.
Yes. I'm going to pay 1 mana for a 3 mana guy. And if it doesn't work, I'll cycle it. It's always What's up, Kermit?
It's for y'all. It's just his hot ass mouth now. Sorry, what deck were you playing?
Red Black Pyromancer in Modern. This was the first Modern Weekly I went to after COVID, and I've maybe told this story on the podcast before, but back when COVID was like finally starting to kind of wane down, and like people were coming out, they were still wearing masks, but like we were like going to.
This was like
our first, like me and my group's like first big outing, and like
and maybe we'll put the tables farther apart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like time skip. We all come back. We have longer hair. Mm-hmm. Everything's changed.
Everyone looks like shit.
Yeah, I'm somehow whiter. It's a One Piece time skip.
It's a feat that you didn't think would be possible.
Yeah, I'm glowing. And my friend is like, "Yo, we should go to this local by me." And I'm like, "I've never been here before. Let's check it out."
Yeah,
They're doing Modern. Nobody else is. Let's go check it out. So we go to this store, and I'm not going to name it because, one, it would be doxing me, and two, I don't think it's very fair to this establishment that is still currently open to talk about how much I hate it. Because I'm sure it's exactly the same.
Yeah, so we'll just say that you pulled up to Tel Aviv Cards and Collectibles.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right by the Wailing Wall. So I get there, and first of all, every table in this bitch is a poker table.
Oh fuck yeah!
And every chair in this bitch is a gaming chair.
Get nice and comfy.
And it's the middle of the summer. AC don't work.
Ooh.
It's inside a dead mall.
Beast.
So to get there, you have to either go through the dead mall or go all the way around the mall where there's like graffiti everywhere.
It's kind of bomb out at the shitty ass F&M and then go hit the food court.
Yeah, for nothing. So yeah, it's hot as fuck. Everything's on poker tables. Chairs are all gaming chairs. Pretty much everybody who works there literally couldn't care less if I lived or died. And I'm just there with my friends, and I'm so excited to play Magic. And I'm playing this bum-ass red-black deck. Folks, this is 4 copies of Unearth, 4 copies of Sedgemoor Witch, 3 mana, 3/2 menace, ward, pay 3 life, Magecraft. Whenever you copy or cast an insert sorcery spell, you make a 1/1 that when it dies, you gain a life.
Funny little chuddy pez.
It's like Young Pyromancer, but it's harder to kill, and it be getting busy.
This is an immensely pushed card.
It's good as fuck, and it had just gotten printed.
Yeah.
We're playing 4 copies of Seasoned Pyromancer. It's good with our
C0 play, by the way.
Yeah, completely worthless. 4 copies of Seasoned Pyromancer. It slices it, dices. It's good with your Unearth. And you know what else is good with your Unearth? 4 copies of Dreadhorde Arcanist.
Woo-hoo!
And it's also good with your Lightning Bolts and your Thoughtseizes and your Inquisitions. And it just gets busy as fuck. This deck sucks because none of the cards particularly do anything well, and you are playing mid-range on an axis that is, even at this point, kind of laughable. Your top end is Bedlam Reveler, and if you can get to it, the game has just gone wildly out of control.
Yeah.
And so I'm playing this deck, and it's like me and my friends brought meta decks, so if I play against them, I lose. And then if I play against a stranger, they're playing some bullshit, so I beat the brakes off of them.
I will say, this really is the type of deck that it looks so good on paper.
You literally, genuinely, every time I look at the list,
all these cards are amazing.
Fuck yeah, man!
It reminds me of when my friend had the Dirty Burn list, and everyone in the store was like, "Yes, bro."
There's no way it can lose,
and it's just
first of all, there's no way it can win. So write that down.
Like, it's just every time you're just like, how does it happen?
Yeah, you're looking at the board and you're like, how did I get here?
Yeah, there's no way.
You're looking at your hand and you're like, this is it just doesn't make any sense. I just must have drawn these in the wrong order for the 5th game in a row.
So what am I doing wrong?
So we're playing at this dog shit bum ass game store, and I'm like 2-1, and I'm playing against a stranger, and he's playing Tarmogoyfs, and I'm fatal pushing them, and I'm like, I'm a genius. And I finished my set, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick because it's 1,000,000 degrees in here. And I go to the counter, and I'm like, yo, boss man, where's the bathroom at? He's like, right here behind me. I'm like, okay. So I go behind the counter to go to the bathroom.
Strange.
No sink on the wall. Just a toilet. It is just a toilet. And I think there's like a bottle of hand sanitizer in there. So I go, not going to the bathroom in here.
But is he looking for the head? That's all that's in there. Into it, man.
So I walk out, and I'm sweating at this point because it's hot in there, and I'm kind of low-key pissed off. And every time I try to buy cards, the guy's like, fuck you, die. And I go outside to get a breath of fresh air, and I'm sitting on this nasty-ass bench in this abandoned mall, and I'm thinking about my life choices and how everything's so different after COVID. And a fucking 8-pound rat just runs by my feet. Like, dude, what happened?
Oh my god.
I actually got put in the fucking Black Lodge, bro. I was in another world.
Just a real ass fucking rat.
Just a full, complete, grown up rat.
Just straight up
Dark Souls rat.
After if that was my game store experience, and then I sit on a bench and a Dark Souls rat runs across my foot, I'm like, I think I might die today.
Yeah, this has all been bad vibes. I don't even know if I feel safe driving home.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to start my car right now.
Just looking at my car in the parking lot, waiting for it to explode before I could go home.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that's Red Black Pyromancer.
I'd take the deck apart too after that.
Yeah,
holy moly.
Didn't live too much longer. This was another deck where I definitely spent a good deal of change on it, but it was all stuff where I look back on it and I'm like, you know what? I still play with a lot of these cards and I did okay.
Yeah.
Like I bought Deltas for this deck and Bloodstained Mires for this deck. And I'm like, if that's what it takes to get 2 play sets, who cares? I played the fuck out of those fetch lands.
One deck that I went through I went through the trouble of getting the cards and whatnot, and I never really got a chance to play it, and then I just ended up selling them. But I knew it was bad. It was Mono Black Death Shadow.
So how are we losing the life, Chuck?
Really easy, actually.
I guess
that was the thing. Everybody always would talk to me like a fucking child.
They're like, why don't you play more colors?
They're like, how are you going to lose the life? You don't have any fetches and no shocks. And I was like, trust.
4 Street Wraith. Write that down.
Yes. 4 Street Wraith. 4 Thoughtseize. Is it Bitter Triumph?
Yeah.
Or no, Infernal
Grasp.
Infernal
blow
Grasp.
a guy up, lose 2.
Yep. Castle Lothwain, get in there, right?
Just activating it. Like, I've got 5 cards in my hand. Fuck it. Just activate it.
Right, you just don't care. And you would just play Monobot Control and just paying life yourself with all your cards. And then at the end of it all, you would just slap down Death Shadows and Gurmag Anglers and get to work.
Big fuckers.
And basically, at any point, if your opponent was playing a deck that did not put creatures into play, you would lose. Guaranteed, just ham sandwich for sure.
It's so funny.
If they were not just putting stats on the board, you lost almost guaranteed.
Resolving cards that do anything besides add power and toughness. Yeah. It's so funny how often...
It might as well have been Mono Black Turbo Fog.
Yeah, the amount of times that both of us today have described a deck where it's like, I need my opponent to actively participate in the game. Yeah. Please.
But I'll tell you, the thing that everybody told me about the deck that would be the problem, which was always how are you going to lose the life, that wasn't the issue. Yeah. That was never the problem. That part was really easy.
Yeah, I'm at 10. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That deck was terrible. And I sold everything. And
everything.
I just over time, I was like, I don't even need these. The only reason I bought it was I was like, I want something cheap that I can play Thoughtseize in. I really wanted to play Thoughtseize.
That was this. I'd never really played a Thoughtseize deck, so I was like, Red Black Pyromancer. It's fun to look at somebody's hand and take a card out.
My favorite thing to do is Duress and Named Durag and Thoughtseize. That's my favorite thing to do in Magic.
I'll say it. Every once in a while I'll draft.
And Mind Twist.
Yep.
Don't forget the best one.
Yep. I choose. My cube, the module cube, I have Thoughtseize in it, and I take it really, really highly just because I'm like, oh, this is a really good card. It's like very highly efficient. And there's so many times where I will cast a Thoughtseize and take a card, and my opponent is like doing their turn or whatever, and in my head I'm still like, I'm so fucking smart. God damn, I'm so fucking nice. Holy shit, I'm smart as fuck. God, I'm smart as fuck. Holy shit.
Oh my god, I'm the best.
Nobody does it quite like me. And they're like, okay, Cavalier of Thorns. And they're like resolving the effect of Cavalier of Thorns.
It's the guy biting the metal and popping the champagne, and he's in 8th place.
Yeah. My god, I'm so fucking nice. I thought Thoughtseize was so smart. I will say, I did a play the other day that did make me like take out my church fan myself off for a little bit. So I Thoughtseize my opponent.
All right, good start.
Take removal spell out of their hand.
Yeah. Take this bullshit away from you.
Kill the last creature in play.
Oh, that's
like,
easy.
damn, I'm in a bad spot. I'm like, it's about to get worse. Flicker Wisp, target your bounce land.
Oh my god.
Pick that up. Stone Rain, Thoughtseize, and Kill Spell all in one turn. And they just pass and they're like...
They used to just let you do all that in one color.
Yeah, literally, yes. I'm thinking Dark Ritual, all 3.
Yeah. Holy.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, I think that's probably going to do it for today.
I think it is. I think it's wraps.
Folks, thank you so much for listening.
I think we're at a clean 55 minutes.
If I had to take a guess.
It's not true.
Folks, thank you so much for watching or listening to another episode of the Timewaster 9000 podcast.
Forget about how many blind viewers we have, Alex. Because they won't be watching, they'll be listening.
I wouldn't call them viewers then. You know. Right?
Fuck you.
Kiss my ass. Folks, that's going to do it for today, the Timewaster 9000 podcast. If you liked what you saw today on YouTube or heard and want to...
Smelled even.
Smell, yeah. I know you can smell me through the camera.
We almost made it through a full episode with no dogs on camera, and you just can't help yourself. You greedy little pig.
Jacqueline already throwing her hands up in dismay. We'll just edit it out in post.
I'm sweaty, bro.
Okay. Miller, I want you to know.
You think I was just going to get naked?
No, you said...
Did you think I was wearing some complete orange shit?
Yes, I thought you were going to have a t-shirt on that said, like, I fuck Alex in the ass.
I am a rapist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something evil, and I just had to be
No,
like...
I'm wearing the coolest shirt of all fucking time. It's got Razor Ramon on it.
Okay, I was like, that looks like Scott Hall, but I can only see...
It is indeed Scott Hall, Razor Ramon.
Hey, yo, I'm going to do the ad read as Scott Hall. I'm not. If you're watching on YouTube and you liked what you saw, please hit the like button. Leave us a comment with a horrible, awful deck that you played.
Tell me the worst deck you've ever played.
Please, I would love to hear the worst deck that you've ever played.
And if it's a commander deck, I'm probably not interested. I'll be suffering.
I'm interested if it's a commander deck because I've built some dog shit commander decks too. That's just how it goes.
They're all bad.
Yeah,
every commander. Every commander deck is the worst deck I've ever seen.
What's that? It's like the gamer comic, and it's like, as far as I'm concerned, all marriage is gay marriage. Wow. If you'd like to hear or see more of us, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to receive notifications on whenever we upload a video, whether it be a short or a new long form video, you can hit the bell if you're nasty. That sounded like it hurt.
No.
All right. If you're listening to us on...
It's fine.
Bleeding out of your nose. If you're listening to us on podcast platforms like Apple, Spotify, the Jeremy Renner app, or
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats or Tinder or Hinge or Bumble or Bumbler.
Yeah, or Schmumble. Schmumble.
Or CoStar. You can subscribe to our RSS feed. Yeah, if you're listening to us on Tidal. Just finishing the Timewaster 9000 episode, hitting next, and it just plays Otis.
Max volume.
Subscribe to our RSS feed if you'd like to see more of us. If you'd like to see us on social media platforms like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Uber Eats, you can go to our website, timewaster9000.com.
Go to the website.
It's a HTTPS type website. And if you'd like to send us some fan mail or a question, you can either hit us up in the Discord or community Discord, which I'll leave a link to.
Maybe you're trying to link up.
Yeah. If you're trying to link up, if you're trying to meet me in real life, hit us up at
if you want me to give you neck because I've got too much of it, hit me up on the Timewaster email.
If you've got your mid out and you're trying to have me throw some neck at you, contact at timewaster9000.com.
We gotta wrap this shit up. We're never gonna get out of here.
Contact at timewaster9000.com or hit us up on the community Discord, which I will leave a link to below. And if you saw what we did today and you thought, man, I wish these guys had more money, you can drop off a charitable donation, as we mentioned earlier in the episode, on Ko-fi, Coffee. or
like a cuppa.
On Patreon, a cup of coffee in the big time, yeah. Or you can hit us up on patreon.com/timewaster9000.com or whatever. It'll be in the description. We only have one tier right now, and we do have Discord benefits with it, but mainly it's just if you want to show support to the show and let us keep doing what we do. Out of the kindness of your heart, we really appreciate it. And we will have your name in the credits of every episode, just like this one. And we appreciate all those Goblin heroes who have already helped us out so far. You have no idea how much the contribution means to helping us get our shit streamlined. Am I missing anything else? I don't think so.
I'm thinking, speaking of the Goblin heroes,
salute to the Goblin heroes. Abosh.